Yo, what is going on YouTube? I am Germ here. Today we're back talking about the LCS offseason once again, the latest rumor, speculation, all of that stuff going on in the competitive League of Legends scene. As you can see here today, we're on the LCS Spring Leaks Twitter account, and they actually follow me, so potentially they see some of our videos, they see some of our content. They did follow me back, so shout out to them. Before we get into this one, I just want to mention real quick, we do have a $25 RP giveaway going on. I think that's going to be taking place on Thanksgiving Day. I think we're moving it up a little bit just to get that stuff out to you guys sooner, so I can say thank you for just all the support you guys have been giving the channel recently. It's going to be the first link in the description below. If you're interested in that, definitely check that out. With that being said, here we go, getting right into this one. The big news today is that Zven may be leaving CLOUD9. Supposedly he is in talks to possibly be rejoining one of his former teams, but nothing is certain yet. And when I hear that, my mind first goes straight to G2 Esports. Obviously, there's all the rumors right now of Perkz potentially leaving G2. Maybe he's going to Fnatic. Maybe he's going to North America. CLOUD9, TSM, Evil Geniuses. We don't know. He could stay with G2 because he's under contract until 2022, but he wants to play mid lane. He's ready to move on to, kind of, I guess, move on to the next stage of his career, go back to that previous stage of his career, whatever. He's ready to move on from G2, be a mid laner, start building a team around himself, and start finding ways to win once again and having that success, and potentially even get paid, getting a pay increase if he went to North America, potentially even if he went to Fnatic. There's so many reasons why Perkz would want to leave, and it seems like he is most likely going to be on the move. It's not 100% certain that he's leaving G2, but it does seem very likely, and it seems like Zven to G2 could make a lot of sense. Obviously, Zven, when he used to play on G2, he was regarded as one of the best AD carries in the world at that time. Then he left with Mithy to come to TSM, and since then he has kind of not been so good. In North America, he has not been seen as one of the best AD carries in the world. He really hasn't even been seen as one of the best AD carries in NA. He's been like top 3 or 4 pretty much every split, but there hasn't really been a split where he's been consensus #1, maybe spring split this year. But again, I just think that's because Cloud9's whole roster was so dominant. Zven has had good splits. He's had highlights. He's also had very, very low lights. Obviously, his Ezreal play in the spring finals. But yeah, he's been very up and down. It would be very, very interesting to see if it's NA's problem, if it's a Zven problem, if he can go back to EU and start being that old player that he wants to be, that MVP caliber level of player, that dominant player internationally. Obviously, G2 never had a ton of success with Zven. He did make a World Semifinals, not with G2, but with Origin. But it would be crazy. It would be really, really crazy to see the G2 and Zven reunion. It would be really interesting. And then I'm not sure what Cloud9 would do in the AD carry position. AD carry is actually a pretty decent position in North America. There's a lot of North American talent. They would obviously be able to potentially import. But I haven't really heard any rumors surrounding any of that stuff. Also, talking about Zven maybe rejoining one of his former teams, the other options would be like, yeah, Origin, which I don't think that would happen. And then TSM also is extremely unlikely to happen. So when I hear this rumor, I have to think it means G2, and I don't know. Would G2 fans be excited about that? Because I know a lot of people have been kind of talking crap about, like, Upset. So if you don't like Upset, would you potentially like Zven? I don't think G2 fans would necessarily be super excited about this, but maybe Carlos, maybe somebody on G2, see something in Zven, knows that they could bring him back up. Obviously, being in Europe, being in the LEC, being in the G2 environment makes people better. They are able to develop talent. They're able to develop players, and Zven is definitely a very, very talented player, but potentially the NA environment hasn't worked out for him, potentially the NA infrastructure. TSM obviously has a lot of infrastructure issues, developing talent and everything. So a lot of people attribute some of his problems to just coming to NA because he was so good in EU and then became so, not bad, but just so much worse so fast in North America. It seems hard to believe that he just kind of fell off a cliff like that. But I don't think we've really seen people, leave and go back and still ever be able to reach that same level of success in Europe. So it would be interesting to see, but I did think this was a pretty crazy rumor because I hadn't really heard any rumors about Zven leaving C9. I also hadn't really heard any rumors about him linked to G2, but I think it would be pretty interesting. Again, if they have an AD carry position open, Zven is a very, very talented veteran with a ton of experience. He's familiar with the team, familiar with the organization, obviously from Europe, and he might just slot right in and be a very, very nice piece on G2. Who knows if he'd be able to be better than Perkz or if he'd be better than some of the other options. But I think it's at least a very, very interesting rumor and something interesting to talk about. Again, this is all rumor, all speculation, nothing confirmed. Doesn't mean he's going to G2, but still pretty interesting to see. Pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you enjoyed it. Leave a comment down below If you're a G2 fan, would you want to see Zven come? Would you be mad if Zven came to your team? Do you think he's washed up? Do you think he could ever get back to his old heights? I'm curious to hear what you guys think, so definitely leave those comments down below. Subscribe, stay up to date on all my latest content. Check me out over at twitch.tv/I_am_germ. Again, the description, the first link is going to be for that $25 RP giveaway. Hopefully I catch you guys in the next one, but until then, peace!